Hello and welcome to Gaming Gain. My name is Muzz and today I'm going to take you through my chest and back workout that I've been doing over lockdown. It's taken me a lot longer than I anticipated to get round to making these videos, just with I thought I lost some footage and then I found it and then I started work again and yeah, just a whole thing. But hopefully this is going to be me for the next wee while. I'm going to focus on getting all the workout ones up, all the workouts that I did during lockdown, just to give you an idea of what I've been doing since this all started. Because I think I've actually improved in some areas, whether that's down to the intermittent fasting or just because that was always going to be that way, but just doing it at home it seemed to be a lot easier to do. So we're going to start with push-ups. So supersets are basically exercises, the sets that you do with multiple exercises, usually involving different muscle groups. So for instance, biceps, triceps would be one, chest and back would be one, your hamstrings and your thighs could be another. It's basically the opposite muscle that you want to be working. If you do chest, you want to do back. That way you can actually do the exercise without suffering failure because you've already done an exercise in the chest. Also, it allows you to have very little rest between each exercise, which pushes your body a bit more, and it means that you get your workout done quicker. So for push-ups, we are, it's a standard exercise. It's something that I believe everyone should be able to do, but some common mistakes are just your elbows going out the way, keep them nice and tucked in. For this variant now, I'm doing 4 different types of push-ups. I'm going to go through each one by one. This one is just a standard one. Hands are shoulder width apart, keeping my body in a nice straight line, just lowering myself to the floor nice and gradually, and then pushing back up. Your chest should be the first thing to touch the floor. It shouldn't be your nose, it shouldn't be your chin, it should be the chest. You want to go all the way down and all the way back up. Do that even if you can only do 1 or 2. The more you go down, the more you get into the habit of going all the way down and come back up, you're going to get much more out of any push-up variant that you do. It's important that you try and go all the way down because you're going to get a lot more out of it. Now moving on to the back row. This is most commonly done in gyms using cable machines, or they have a specific machine for the back row. But I'm using a resistance band, which works, it does a job. I won't lie to you and say that it's better. It's not. If you've got access to a cable machine or a actual gym with a back row machine, I'd recommend them better. But as I say, it does a job well. All the gyms have been shut. But the important thing to remember with this is the back needs to remain straight, and I often find that if you don't focus on your back, your arms tend to do more of the pulling, which you want to really make sure you're exaggerating the movement with your back, and it's your back muscles that are really taking the strain of the pull rather than your arms. Your arms will still feel something just because it's a pulling motion, but you should really try and focus on using your back. Now this isn't the best position. I would not recommend this, doing it off the side of a decking onto a pole, but you've got to make do. We've had to make do, we've had to adapt these times. So if you can find a banister and you can wrap it around, I don't know, a radiator or something, maybe not a radiator, but something like that where you can wrap it around and you can pull it without fear of the thing you're pulling breaking or get destroyed. And that is the back row. Moving on to the next variant, as I have eloquently shown you here, your hands are going to be turned inwards. Your fingertips are going to be facing each other, which may feel unnatural at first, but your body will get used to it. This is to work the upper part of the pectoral muscle. I will put a picture on screen now to show you what part. but it's essentially the same idea, apart from the elbows are going a lot more out, just based on the nature of the actual hand position. But the chest is still the first thing to touch the floor. It's still a gradual progression down and back up. There's no speeding up or slowing down. The mechanics are all still there. A natural push-up, it's a standard push-up. It's just the actual hand positions that I've changed to make it a little bit more difficult. This is certainly one of the more difficult ones, just based on it takes a while for the hand position to become comfortable. I felt a couple of months after I started doing it that I actually felt like I was doing it without worrying about my hand position. Moving on to the wide push-up now, I should probably explain why I am doing the variety of push-ups instead of just doing a standard push-up 4 times. It just creates more interest in the workout. I find it helps my concentration levels because my body almost resets itself as if it's doing a new workout, a new exercise. It is really good because you're using different muscles in those push-ups. So you're not just working the same muscles all the time, which if you did that you could maybe plateau unless you're not adding weight or whatever. Putting weight on your back is a good way to, if you're doing standard push-ups, to make it a little bit harder. It's just, it creates excitement and it makes it feel more varied, and that can be really good for your workout. Moving on to the mechanics of the wide push-up, it is just the same as a standard push-up except your hand positions are wider than shoulder width apart. Now wherever you want, not too wide that you're uncomfortable, but like wide enough where you can really feel it stretching your chest muscles. This one is good because it doesn't work the tricep as much, and you really feel it for if you've been doing high reps or push-ups, so it gives your triceps a little break. That's why I like to put it third here, and it just is a great, you can really feel it in your chest for this one. So that is the wide push-up. Now we're on to the narrow push-up. I do not know why I make a triangle here, because that is not the position that I want, the hand position that you want. You want your hands to be in line with your chest, in line with your pectoral muscle, so a little bit in from shoulder width apart. And then it's just the same mechanics. This is a tricep killer. You're going to feel it burning your triceps. Whether you do this at the beginning of a workout or the end, it is a fierce exercise that really works your triceps and your chest, because of course that's what we're trying to work here. Nice and easy going down, same things apply. Nothing really much has changed, just the position of your hands obviously, and you will feel it towards the center of your chest more. These, I believe, will give you a nice balanced chest. You won't have any parts of the chest that are bigger than others. If you do these 4 variants, you're hitting the top part, the bulk of the chest, the wider and the narrower parts in the middle. So enjoy it. Moving on to back flies now, and for this you will need a pole, a banister, something like that you can wrap the poles around. And what I'm doing is I'm using the resistance bands in opposite hand from the way they come around the pole. So if it comes around the left side, it's in my right hand, and the right side is in my left hand. And all I'm doing is I'm just pulling back, really trying to focus on using the back muscles here. It's a very tough exercise, this one, as you can see probably from my face. And moving on to the chest fly now. So this is straight into it. This is a super set, so we're not messing about, making sure everything is all set up correctly. We scratch to the head there, really confusing myself. And for this, it's all about, never mind the actual getting it to the middle, it's all about the coming back. That's the important part in this one, that there. This is where you really want to focus on slowing it down. Try and really work your chest muscles in this one, and just keep going from there. I actually moved to using gloves just because the resistance bands were a bit tough on my bare skin, so I recommend you do that if you are planning on using these. As you can see, I am struggling just to hold them. I'm holding them very differently from the way you would a normal fly, but it's just got to be improvised. You just got to improvise, just got to make sure that you can get the workouts done, and that is what I'm doing here. Now we're going to do some DIY on the Gaming Gain channel. I'm going to show you how to make your own bench, makeshift bench here. So I've got 3 concrete blocks. I have placed them in a formation of 1 long at the top and 2 on horizontal, vertical, depending on which way you're looking at. We'll say vertical, that one at the top, horizontal. And you just lay a mat over it, and that is it. That is you with your own makeshift bench. It only works for chest press, so don't try and do it for any other exercises that require a bench specifically for the chest press. But it does the job, and the main reason for it is just to stop my elbows from touching the floor. I tried to do this where just on the floor, and you can, yeah, not a bad workout, but if you just have that elevation of it. And the important thing is to get your lower back nice and firm on the concrete. That's where I think you should be focusing on. The neck, yeah, you know, as well. So it needs to be big enough to support your neck and lower back. And it's just a chest press. It's just a chest press. We're lowering it, bar, touching the chest, back up. depending on how you hold it. I'm holding it a bit wider, so it's working my chest a lot more. If it's to hold it narrower, it'd be a lot more strain on my triceps, and it's just keeping a steady pace throughout. It's a fantastic workout, the chest press. Because it's a lighter weight, I'm obviously upping the weights, and by slowing it down as well, it's giving me much more of a workout than if I was just to go quite quickly. So yeah, that is the chest press and my makeshift bench. Hope you enjoy it, because it's a nice little workout. Moving on to the final exercise here, the inverted row. Now this one is quite difficult to do if you don't have a pull-up bar that goes between your door, or you can use a resistance band. You just need to be careful that you have something strong enough to support your weight. But you can do variants of this type. So please excuse the Arnold poster, because it's definitely a poster, not an image that I've posted over the video. I'm definitely not trying to hide something that's behind there. And you're just going to pull yourself up towards the bar. It's a very simple movement, it's a very tough exercise, but I am doing it using my banister for my leverage, and I'm just pulling my chest up towards the bar, focusing on using my back muscles again, trying to really focus on using them first more than anything. And that is really the exercise, and that is the entire workout that I have been doing, or I was doing during lockdown. We're a wee bit after lockdown now, but I thought I'd share this with you anyway, just to give you any ideas for your home workouts. If some of you are going back to the gym, you can certainly do a lot of these exercises in the gym, all of them, because you know they're exercises and they will have space or whatnot to allow you to do these exercises. But I'm rambling on, so hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll leave you with me and Arnold doing the inverted row together. Hope you enjoy.